I checked my village dictionary. It wasn't there. So you get an old man like me being forced to dive into the internet to enter a new and fascinating universe. I must confess that I'm neither an agriculturist nor am I an entrepreneur when you use the dictionary meaning of the words. And it made me wonder why that young lady in Europe ordered me to be here. At the same, on the other hand, I also know that I'm a farmer of modest thoughts, and I harvest those thoughts and market those thought seeds. So, as a thought entrepreneur, I believe that you and I share the same hope of an African entrepreneur that will make Africa better than we found it. As an entrepreneur of the abstract, my profits lie in improving African minds and hopefully making them better than mine. That is where the purpose of our entrepreneurship may differ. But then he used the word empowering women in the agricultural sector, creating jobs, among other things, for the community. Now, power. The word power. Power is a powerful man. Power. It's a very interesting word. But power works in tandem with consciousness. You know, I have a transmission of consciousness, and being here stops it. But one of the fascinating things among the account, forgive me, we'll get to South Africa one day, probably Zimbabwe soon. But among the account here, have you noticed that almost all the women names end with A? Aguma, Pimpoma, Ajua, Abba. Now, when you say A, what are you actually saying? It's a statement of consciousness. A is a conscious sound. A. I leave the rest to you to go and multiply its metaphysical meanings. But power is consciousness. Consciousness is power. And through the consciousness that you have, I think I better wear my two other eyes. The other one broke. Through consciousness, we bring our world into being. We create the world in which we live. As a matter of fact, the kind of world in which one exists mirrors one's consciousness. Thus, empowerment is getting people to focus their consciousness, their orientation, and their values. It is my prayer that you will alter women's state of consciousness with regard to agriculture. And that will be the real empowerment. Usually, I used to have a very fine body. I know you would laugh at me. My son looked at me one day and shook his head. He says, "Daddy, you know, you used to have a six-pack, but you've converted it to one pack." That's when I knew that I was going. But I reflect on this marvelous machine that you call the human body and the way it works. Fascinating. However, no matter how you look at it, from whichever direction, it needs something called fuel. That fuel is what some people call food. So therefore, to be alive is to eat. You need food to be alive. Food is life. Take away food, and you've taken the life from the people. And that is why your theme, Revitalizing Partnership for Sustainable Agri-Development, is actually agribusiness development. It's really revitalizing life. You're talking about life. The major essence of agriculture is to produce food and therefore generate life. If your agriculture goes wrong, nothing else will have the chance to go right. If you mess up the agriculture in your space, then you're messing up your existence, your future. A nation which cannot feed itself is not a nation. Any nation that depends on other people for food, for self-sufficiency, lacks freedom and sovereignty. The only way you can talk about independence, the only way you can talk about freedom, liberation, whatever, is if you can feed yourself. Basic. You cannot rob. You don't have to rob the lion. You only become the poodle of whoever feeds you. Hey, well, hey, come here, take. And you will take. That is exhibited by nations who have something we call slave power. Slave power is when you depend on other people for your existence, for your food existence. You know? Here, you go into a dependency syndrome.
Very much excited about today because I've worked with the company Guza Guza for a while, and I see the impact that it's having on the young ladies. And today is no exception. And the talk so far has been good, and there are things that will set your mind thinking as to what agribusiness is all about and how to position yourself in that. Particularly about Nana Osebonsu's talk on Pan-African Agri-Chamber, and he's asking us to try and join and also make an impact there. And I think that now that is what the thinking is, where we are all drifting to. So I've even started Googling to find out exactly what happens there and see how best. I'm saying that because I'm the president of African Women in Agribusiness, and I think that with such information, it's something that my group can also benefit from. Inflation is affecting us very much so, very much. Today you buy something, the next day, and every time we I'm into processing, we also have to adjust our prices. But I'm looking at a very positive side. I don't know how I'm going to put it not for me to be misunderstood, but I'm now seeing a situation where now we have to push made in Ghana goods forward. I did some small analysis, and I'm thinking that now imported chicken is okay, let me put it, local chicken is now cheaper than no, let me do it right. Imported chicken is now expensive than the local one, because over the weekend we did some analysis. Made in Ghana rice, I hear there's a lot in stock that we are not buying. I haven't checked on that price yet, but I'm looking at the positive end in saying that let us now try and see how we can push our local products forward. I believe that when we do that, the pressure on the dollar will also come down. But we need to patronize our own goods. I mean, I'm very passionate about that. We need to. Otherwise, every time we'll go, it's not this government, the next government comes, the dollar, because every time we want to import something into the country, rice is growing in abundance in Ghana, the chicken are there, just a small support for the farmers and the industry players also to put their produce on the market. My last message to the farmers is that they shouldn't give up. We should all come together. This afternoon I'm talking on participation, sustenance and participation. We shouldn't give up. We should talk less and then put more action into it. I believe that we'll turn around the curve.
This week, and the focus is collaboration, partnerships. Yes, there are a lot of issues in terms of inflation in our country, but we believe that collaborative efforts can be possible. Along the agri value chain, we have marketers, we have from the farm, we have producers, we have packages and all that. So if we come together, judge, plan, discuss, it's possible to sustain what we have now. So that's why we are having this program now, to have a network session, to have keynote addresses looking at how, though there is inflation, what can we do? as women along the agri-value chain, what can we bring on board? What can we support each other? What can we do in terms of what we are all doing from our own angles? So that's why we are having this program today at LAPAM. That it's possible. What we want to achieve from what we've heard so far is possible, and we're ever ready to push it even after this event. It's going to be virtual also to get a large number to discuss what is next. After networking, how do we collaborate? How do we form an apex body to push the agenda of agribusiness in our country? We are saying that yes, there's a lot happening now, but it's possible for things to get better. And so let's come together, let's voice out our issues as a group, let's push as a strong force, a formidable force to make this better. That is collaboration. That's what we are pushing on our program. Need to partner. You can't do it alone on your own. You need someone to also support you with something.